Well, my name is Ed Fryer, and this is a new concept to Nashville and hopefully America and the world called Red Spirits and Wine. 10,000 square feet of wine and spirit bliss.
Well, how did you decide to do something that, especially you're here in Nashville in the Bible Belt, and I travel all over the country, and the only thing I've seen anywhere even closer to this is Astor Place in New York, which is considered probably the top craft spirit and specialty liquor retailer in the country, and I was pleasantly surprised to walk in here this morning having no idea.
Well, thank you. I've been in the retail business for about 30 years on and off, and the last store I had was a small 1,200 square foot fine wine store. And we had to move piles and piles of wine cases right and left and back and forth to put in new wine. It was sort of like an old bookstore. Mm-hmm. And as you get older, you sort of start looking for alternative ways to not work so hard. So instead of being frustrated when we'd move those cases around, I'd sort of try to design in my mind a bliss concept of how to put lots of wine in a store with a lot of square footage, but not overwhelm people and not look like a typical wine or liquor store. So
Right.
that's where Red was sort of created. And over 3 or 4 years, when we'd be moving those piles of wine, I would sort of think I'd spread this wine out on the shelf 3 wide, and it would be eye level. And I'd put all these color labels together, or I'd put this region in this corner. And so this store sort of has different areas that express the style of the wine. Like Bordeaux is a little bit more of a precise and precision look to the shelving. Mm-hmm. Pinot Grigio might be a little more fun and frivolous, let's say.
Now, have the changes in liquor laws and Tennessee, which have gotten a little friendlier towards sampling and things, did that have anything to do with how you put the store together?
Yeah, neat. Where we're standing right now is what we call Taste of Red, and originally it was going to be a cylinder, glass enclosed cylinder, mm-hmm. The wine cellar in here. So mm-hmm. you'd walk through the actual climate controlled cellar, mm-hmm. But the laws changed this summer to where we can actually do in-store tastings with virtually no restrictions. There's no size or portion pour. We can do whatever we want to, which is really awesome that mm-hmm. Tennessee would jump from fairly restrictive laws to whatever you want to do, have at it. So we can have a great mixologist like you, Adam, in here and come in on a Friday night and throw all kinds of concoctions together and let people come in and learn and taste.
Well, it's amazing what happens when state government realizes the tax revenue that they can generate when they actually make it easy for you to be creative and do business. Exciting things happening around the country. Washington State's starting to go private. Pennsylvania, just a month ago, passed a law that actually the craft distillers are now able to sample right at the distilleries. That's, of course, a state-run liquor store, but now you can walk right in the distillery and buy from where it's made. So it's exciting times to be in the business.
Oh, it's amazing. Even in Tennessee, we have Corsair, Pritchard's, obviously. Some of these new small distilleries are sprouting up around here. Mm-hmm. We've got a couple here in Nashville, so you can go in and taste as well. And it's beautiful. You've got local flair. You get to meet the people actually making the product, and it's actually a really neat educational opportunity for people as well as tasting the product itself. So it makes it a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Now, you were telling me it was a few days ago you popped open a little Vouvray, and how did that go?
The Savinier in here?
Right.
We popped that open Saturday. It was weather's been pretty warm, and mm-hmm. So we thought, man, it's springtime at Red.
Uh-huh.
So about noon, I looked at Virgil, one of the guys that works here with us, and said it's time for a Chenin Blanc.
Okay.
So we popped that open. Nobody really knows what that grape is mm-hmm. or where it's from. A little village in the Loire Valley, obviously.
Right.
And we started tasting that and sold a case in just a very short period of time. And it's just terrific. People have never really had that wine. Mm-hmm. Very few cases of Savinier make it to Nashville.
Right.
And I think everybody just kind of fell in love with it. And if we had not been able to taste, we would have never sold those bottles.
So you sold a case in a day?
Oh, in a couple hours.
And normally, how long would it have taken you to sell a case?
It might be a year. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. our
A
store
year
here
to
is
2
just
hours,
few
that's a
months
pretty
old.
good business model.
Yeah. And, it's funny because we have in Nashville and all over the world, I guess all over America, a lot of people have sort of tended to spend a little less, so they're not buying the high-end Napa cabs or maybe not the Bordeaux's and things that they were 3 or 4 years ago, which opens up a great opportunity for esoteric fun wines from small producers throughout the world.
Right.
And when people taste something from northern Italy that they've never had before, or we were talking about Austrian wines a little while ago, Great Gruner Veltliner or something like that, it changes people's lives in a sense. They can't just go back and drink the everyday stuff. Same thing with what you're doing.
You're doing God's work.
Yeah, I think so. I do believe that. And in moderation, we as a country can really pave the way to a very great way of enjoying our lives. We work so hard here in this country to enjoy the small pleasures, like a terrific little small glass of wine from a little producer, or some of the products like what you have. It sets the bar and it raises the bar. It's really neat.
Well, it's this European lifestyle that's come into the States, and it's interesting. I was just over at Opryland yesterday with exec chef for the steakhouse, and he's got the American Cattlemen Association in. So they're all, why aren't you buying my steak? Why aren't you buying my beef? And he said, because I'm buying locally, and people are starting to eat local proteins and local
absolutely.
cheese and local produce, and Americans are starting to drink craft spirits, whether it's Hum or it's Pritchard's or what's made in their backyard, and it tastes better. It's better for the environment. It's better for the local economy, and it's neat that you're doing something to help pull that together.
You're a revolutionary in this thing. You're one of the first folks in on this. Just imagine where this is going to be in 5 years, because the trend is certainly away from the big brands. And even like the Pritchard's rum here in Tennessee, and his whiskey line, he's doing so well with it. And if you go and look at our bourbon and whiskey section, you see a whole plethora of Tennessee products that weren't here a year or two ago. And it's just going to continue to extend throughout the whole nation. So when you go up to see you in Chicago, you guys will have a whole different shelf set than we'll have in Tennessee. Or you go up to New York, and they've got a lot of neat producers up there. And it's just going to be an awesome experience. It's going to bring the old, I guess, innovation of what America was sort of back to us. The generations. It always seems like history repeats itself. Well, certainly, I think we're on the cusp of a really neat future with this industry that will not look anything like it has for the last 20 years in another year or two.
Absolutely. Now, how do people find you?
We are in Nashville.
Okay.
At Old Hickory Boulevard and Highway 70, in a section of Nashville called Bellevue.
Okay.
So we've been open for about 4 months. We opened September 8th, 2011, maybe 5 months now. But 10,000 square foot store of totally unique, easy to walk aisles. We have shelf talkers that explain all the wines, the great mixes on the different things, and maybe some food pairings. So we try to make it user-friendly without all of the abuse and oversells, or you're not having to worry about tripping over dirty cardboard boxes.
Right.
It's just a fun and inviting wine and spirits buying experience. So.
Excellent. And your website is?
redspirits.com.
And Facebook or Twitter or any of that
Yes,
crazy
sir.
stuff?
Red Spirits and Wine on Facebook.
All right.
Scared of Twitter.
Okay, it's a new frontier, but I'll help you with it.
Adam, thank you for coming in. It's been awesome spending the morning with you, so thank you.
Sure, it's been a pleasure.